Hey everyone, welcome to Excel Insider. Today, let's explore 6 different ways to extract text between two characters like quotes or brackets using Microsoft Excel 365. For this tutorial, we are working with a list of products with their color descriptions in single quotes. The goal is to extract those colors and display them in column E. Let's get started. In the first method, we will pull text between two identical delimiters using the modern text before and text after function. Text after function returns the text that occurs after a specific character or delimiter, and text before function returns the text that occurs before a specific character or a delimiter. Let's get into it. In column E, or any column of your choice, type this formula. Let me break it down. First, the text before function is used to get everything before a specific character. Its first argument is the result from another function. In this case, text after function is applied to cell B2, which is our targeted string. In the second argument is a single quote telling Excel to take everything before the next single quote. Now, looking inside the text after function, the first argument is cell B2. That's the cell containing the text. The second argument is a single quote, which tells Excel to return everything after the first single quote in cell B2. Put together, this combination pulls out exactly the text that is between the two single quotes in cell B2. Press Enter and drag down to autofill. This gives us the colors instantly and cleanly extracted from each description in column B into column E. Important note, these functions and the method I just showed only works in Microsoft Excel 365. If you're using an older version of Microsoft Office, try one of the upcoming methods instead. Now let's check out the second method. In the second method, we will find the position of the quotes and extract the text between them using the mid and the search functions. Mid function returns a specific number of characters from a text string, starting at the position you specify. And search function returns the number of characters at which a specific character or text string is first found. Let's jump right in. In any column, I'll go for column E, type this formula. Let me explain. In the mid function, the first argument is cell B2. That's the cell containing the text we want to extract. The second argument is where to start extracting. Here, we use the search function to find the first single quote in cell B2. We add 1 to that position, so Excel begins just after the first quote. The third argument of mid function is how many characters to extract. To calculate this, we use another search function to find the position of the second single quote in cell B2, starting right after the first one. Then we subtract the position of the first quote in cell B2 and subtract one more to get the exact length of the text in between. After putting it all together, this setup extracts exactly the text between the two single quotes in cell B2. Press Enter. Double-click on the fill handle to autofill. This method achieves the same result as the first one and is compatible with many Excel versions. Now let's explore the third method. In the third method, we will extract the numeric product ID between the different characters in column A, using functions like mid, left, find, and len. Left function returns the first character in a text string. Find function returns the position of one text string within another. And len function returns the number of characters in a text string. Let's give it a try. In a helper cell of your choice, like cell E2, type this formula. Let's see what's going on here. In the mid function, the first argument is the result of the left function applied to cell A2, the cell containing the text. The left function's first argument is cell A2. The second argument is the result of the find function, which looks for the closing bracket in cell A2 minus 1. This ensures we take all characters up to just before the closing bracket. In the second argument of the mid function is another find function. In this find function, the first argument is the opening bracket. The second argument is cell A2. Again, that's the cell we are working with. And then we add 1 to just start after the opening bracket. The third argument of the mid function is the len function applied to cell A2. This ensures mid extracts enough characters to include all the text between the brackets. Put together, the mid function starts just after the opening bracket and ends just before the closing bracket. extracting exactly the text between the square brackets in cell A2. And then hit enter. Pull the fill handle down to autofill. This effectively pulls the numbers from the product ID strings. Next, let's check out the fourth method. In the fourth method, we will use Excel's built-in flash fill feature to automatically detect the pattern and extract the text. Let's see how it works. First, in cell E2 or any empty cell, manually type the color from the description. In this case, type RED, red, and then press enter. Head to the Data tab, go to the Data Tools section, and click on the flash fill icon. And there you go. Excel detects the pattern and instantly fills the entire column with the extracted colors. Let's head to the fifth method. In the fifth method, we will handle text extraction between two identical characters by manipulating the string using the substitute, mid, and rept function. Substitute function replaces the existing text with new text in a text string, and rept function repeats the text a given number of times. Here's how to do it. In any empty cell of your choice, like cell E2, type this formula. Let me break it down. In the substitute function, the first argument is the result of another mid function. The second argument is a comma, that's what we want to replace. And the third argument is an empty string, so Excel removes the commas entirely. Now, let's look inside the mid function. The first argument of mid function is another substitute function. In this inner substitute function, the first argument is a combination of a single quote, the value in cell B2, which is our targeted string, and 6 spaces. The second argument is a single quote. This tells Excel which character to replace. The third argument is 255 repeated commas, so Excel replaces each single quote with a long series of commas. Back in the mid function, the second argument is 2 times 255. This tells mid function where to start extracting, essentially starting at the second block of 255 characters. The third argument of mid function is 255. This tells Excel to extract 255 characters starting from that position. Finally, outer substitute function removes all the commas from the extracted position. Altogether, this combination of function extracts a block of text from cell B2, ignoring single quotes, and gives you the clean text from that portion. Press enter and drag down to autofill. And there you go. This successfully extracts the colors from between the single quotes. Now on to the final method. In sixth method, we will extract the text between two identical characters and handle edge cases using write, if, replace, len, search, and substitute functions. That's a long list of functions. Let's understand. Write function returns the last characters in a text string. If function checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if it's true and another if it's false. And replace function replaces part of a text string with a different text string. Let's give it a try. I'm using cell E2 here, but any empty cell will work. Type this formula. Alright, that's a huge formula. Let's take a deep breath and understand what's going on here. In the write function, the first argument is an if function. The if function's logical test checks whether the last character in cell B2 is a single quote. Cell B2 is where our targeted string is. If the value is true, a replace function is set where the first argument is cell B2, the text we are modifying. The second argument is the length of cell B2, the position of the last character, and the third argument is 1, telling Excel to replace a single character. And the fourth argument is an empty string, effectively removing the last single quote. If the condition of if function is false, then the cell B2 is simply returned, leaving the text unchanged. Now, back in the write function, the second argument is the number of characters to extract. This calculated as the length of cell B2 minus the position found by a search function. Inside the search function, the first argument is the @ symbol. The second argument is the result of a substitute function. In the substitute function, the first argument is cell B2. The second argument is a single quote telling Excel which character to replace. The third argument is the @ symbol, replacing the last single quote with an @ symbol. And lastly, the fourth argument of substitute function is calculated as the total number of single quotes in cell B2, minus 1 if the last character is a single quote. Finally, the right function uses the number to extract all characters after the last single quote, or properly handle the ending quote. After putting it all together, this formula extracts the text from cell B2 after the last single quote, making sure it works whether or not B2 ends with a single quote. Press Enter and pull down the fill handle to autofill. And that's the outcome. This comprehensive method handles various string formats and edge cases, reliably extracting the text between the specified delimiters. And there you have it, 6 different ways to extract text between 2 characters in Excel, from the simplest to the most complex. Download the workbook link below. Visit Excel Insider for more Excel and Google Sheet tutorials. Feel free to comment your questions and feedback. Thanks for watching.